Hello, Waswere here, back with another episode of the Old School Ironman. Last episode, we did a lot of grinding. We got ourselves up to 75 Slayer to unlock gargoyles and get a lot of GP. And we also got to 70 construction as it was below runecrafting for Tears of Guthics. We now actually have base 70 stats, which gives us a lot of wiggle room to start dumping a lot more experience into runecrafting. With that in mind, I went through my quest list in between episodes and I found 21 quests that are kind of irrelevant and or give pretty low rewards. So I'm going to go ahead and knock all those out just to bump up our quest point total so it's higher for Tears of Guthics, which means more runecrafting XP every week. On top of that, we can now lamp more into runecrafting with that large wiggle room of 20 levels before it's our lowest skill again. So I'm going to go and complete every easy and medium diary we haven't done yet. And then I'm going to look at some of the hard diaries that I'm close to or I have most of the requirements for. And we're going to go ahead and finish those off if we can. But let's get cracking. I'm going to go alphabetically, or at least in order. So we're going to start with Below Ice Mountain. Below Ice Mountain done, 1 of 21. The Ascent of Arceus is done. We got a favor certificate and a page to add to our Caradet's memoirs, but we're already 100% favor, so at least we get the teleport. Mina Rock, this was a quest that let's just say, I struggled a lot with when I was a kid, when this first came out in like 2005 or whatever. But it's done. Clock Tower is done. A simple quest. 500 coins means nothing to me, but I don't know why I didn't do this before Wintertod, to be honest. A contact quest is done. We get a combat lamp that gives us 2 times choices in any combat skill. I was hoping prayer was going to be on the list, but it's not. So honestly, I think we're just going to go with magic. So Eagle's Peak is done. This quest actually gives you something, as it gives you the ability to use box traps. I think that they put this in for like a bot protection mechanic, so I think that's a good thing. It means that we can catch Shinjampas now in the future, which we will eventually need for range. Anakra's Lament is completed. I got the Camelet. I don't actually know what it does in this game. I think it's just a teleport. Some token experience. No levels gained from these quests yet. Took me 6 months, but I finally finished Fairy Tale Part 2. I originally started it to unlock fairy rings and never completed it. So we'll get 6,000. Oh, it's only one use. So 2,500 runecrafting XP and 51 runecrafting. 1,000 prayer XP. This is another quest people do very early on to get prayer experience to get up to 43, but I skipped it because I was lazy. Another one of those early game prayer quests, Mountain Daughter. 2,000 more prayer experience. Olaf's quest is done for rubies. And 12,000 defense, 20,000 coins. This actually might be a good early game quest for getting GP. But yeah, 12,000 defense, not much special. Need it for the Fremni Diaries. Scorpion Catcher, another quick one. It's a lot easier once you have all the teleports, I'll tell you that much. Spirit of the Elid. We've now done like 15, 16, I don't know how many quests, but I'm starting to get to the end of my rope. Only a couple more to go. Tale of Two Cats is done, and I think this mysterious present... Oh, I need an extra inventory spot. I think, yeah, it has an antique lamp, which I can put in any skill. So we're gonna gain another 5,000 runecrafting XP. Quest done. 8,000 agility XP. Would have been nice early game, as is the theme with all these quests. But we have one more to go, and that's going to be What Lies Below. And the final quest, What Lies Below, is done. We got 8,000 runecrafting XP, which is actually really nice. I think we're going to get a runecrafting level here. Yeah, we got to 52 from like 50 with all these quests with the lamps and stuff. So that's kind of a bit of the reason why I set off on doing this until I finished construction, just so I had more Tears of Guthic's wiggle room. We had 106 quests before, I believe, and we now have 128. So that's 22 quests I've done in the past day. It's quite a lot. Now, what I'm going to shift gears to is achievement diaries. So there's a lot of diaries I can get done. I have all the requirements for. Like, if we look at the Fremnik diary, I can do easy, medium, and hard. I have literally all the requirements for it, so I can go through and do that. Same with desert, I can get easy, medium, Western Province, easy, medium. So I'm just going to go through and complete all the diaries where I have all the requirements for. And the nice part is there is now a quest helper, or I guess achievement diary helper for achievement diaries, so we can have the same sort of quest helper look and not have to stare at the wiki all day long. With the water birth telly, we have all the hard tasks done. We also finished all the easy tasks, but there's one medium task that we still need to do, and that's to visit the lighthouse from Waterbirth Island. And basically, you do this by running through DKs. Fremi diaries complete. Let's move on to the desert. But first, we need to get off our lunar spellbook here. And that is the medium task done. We can also do the hards, but we need to actually get the Dream Mentor quest done. And I'm going to need this for the hard Kourend and Kebos diary as well. So we might as well complete that off and knock out 2 extra hard diaries. One of the bigger annoyances with getting to Lunar Isle is actually getting to Lunar Isle. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Lunar Teleport, but I need to empty my rune pouch, because for some odd reason it doesn't take runes from your rune pouch. It like thinks you don't have it. But we're going to direct that to Lunar Isle. So whenever I need to get back to Lunar Isle, teleport right here, and then I save taking all the boats, traveling to Fremnickland, all that sort of stuff. So we're in the Dream Mentor fight. The first phase can't be safe spotted because he hits with range, and we're unallowed to, or not allowed to, use prayers. So we're just kind of hoping for big hits with Ivan's Blast and eating through our food. So next up is the Untouchable, and similar thing, except for he's a little bit smaller, so we have to be a little more careful, but still gets stuck on the lectern here. And then the last one is the Elusive, and the Elusive, like, doesn't actually attack you. It does do the annoying mole thing where it just disappears. So I'm not worried anymore. And after a lot of hunting, he gets squashed the bug, squashed his nightmare, and basically quest done. Quest over. We got access to 7 new lunar spells, a couple of which we need to actually do for some diaries, which is why I went ahead and completed this. And we're almost at 250 quest points, which would mean an extra block slot that might be worth grinding out. Now we have a combat XP lamp. It can go into a bunch of skills, but unfortunately it's combat, so no room crafting. And I'm going to go for magic, as it's the best one for us, I believe. Scratch that, we're not going to do the desert hard because it requires killing the Caliphate Queen, and I scrolled right over it. I think I'm mostly done for the diaries I want to get done, now that we've finished those off. The only thing is the Kourend and Kebos. I want to get up to the hard diary to be able to... Basically, it's kind of unlocks the ability to use the Slayer Helmet and get the Slayer Helmet boost for Lizardman Shaman, so I can start the Dragon Warhammer grind. So a couple things I need to do. I basically need to get 100% favor in each faction, and I need to get a Xerix Talisman drop. So I think I'm going to start off with Shayzien favor. So they've changed Shayzien around since I last did this. Yeah, I feel like the new med pack is much worse. There's a lot more things to misclick on. It looks better than before, but honestly, it's worse to actually do. But we're only doing this up to 5% favor, so this should be our last rotation. And now at 5% favor, we are now able to defend the kingdom from Lizardmen by killing Lizardmen, so let's go gear for that. So we're going to be killing Lizardmen. Each one gives us 0.1% favor. And to do the next task, we need to get to 40%, though a quest will get us a free 10%. We're also here at the same time to get the Xerix Talisman, which is a 1 in 125 drop. It's normally 1 in 250, but we finished off the easy Kourend and Kebos diary, which means we get double the drop rate. And they do have a good chance of dropping seeds, so getting stuff like Renar seeds, Irit seeds, Hairlander seeds are going to be great. There is our 250 kills. That means we have 30% favor. So with the quest, we would be able to start the quicker favor generating tasks to get all the way up to 100. But we don't have a Xerix talisman yet. We're at 250, over 250 kills, so double drop rate with that one. Hopefully it turns around. Oh, look at that. Literally, as I'm recording this clip and looking up the drop rate to double check it, we pick it up. That's actually perfect timing. I hadn't even stopped recording. So I guess we're done here. These lizardman fangs act as a charge, so I'm just gonna pick up all the ones I see on the ground here. We'll get a lot more later. Kill the righteous stun. We get the 10% favor certificate, and it gets us up to 40%. If we look at the tasks, we can now tackle organized crime. So let's figure out how to do that. So the concept is pretty simple. You find these gangs, you get a notice board of where they're going to spawn, and you come around and kill them. Killing the boss gives you 10% favor, and then each of the underlings give you a little bit less. And this intelligence can be turned in for combat experience, so it's kind of nice. It's a good way to get favor. It's pretty quick, like we're already up to 60%. So after like 2 or 3 gang busts that I did by myself, we're up to 96% favor. We're going to get the final 100% by killing Shayzien soldiers and getting the armor 5. That gives you 14%, so I did do a little overboard, but we'll need to get that for lizardmen hunting later anyway. And this was also a medium task, so. And there is full tier 5 Shayzien armor obtained. You kind of need this for the lizardman shaman, as wearing each piece of this reduces the poison damage you take from his attack by 20%. And you basically need to wear it if you're going to camp 5,000 of them. Kills, and with doing that we got to 100% favor, so we can talk to Shada here and max out our contribution. Next up is Piscarilius. This is pretty simple favor gathering. All we need to do is click on all these sand wormholes, then we'll either get a bucket of sand or a bucket of sandworms, and then we hand them in, and we'll get like 0.4% favor per bucket handed in. So we're at 30% already, 70% to go. We need like 280 of them or something, so like 10 inventories. There is 100% favor in Piscarilius. And we can speak to Pillier to contribute to the statue. But while I'm over here, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a shortcut. And we're going to go ahead and do a couple of the tasks. We need to deliver an artifact, and we also need to repair a crane. Now is time for the worst grind. We are going to be mining volcanic sulfur. And each one of these tiny little pieces of sulfur gives us like less than 0.1%. So we're gonna have to mine like, I don't want to think about how many we have to mine, but we have to mine a lot of these. We're only doing this up until 20% at least. That's probably the good news, but still gonna be like 500 or 600, as we're at 0.4% when we clear through that first rock. That is 21% favor, and we can now leave this godforsaken place. I don't really enjoy it. You can see in the timer, it's been 34 minutes since I hopped, and I think I hopped when I got here, so 35 minutes to get 20% favor. Quest done! We got our final, I guess, favor certificate here. So we can add that in, and we can teleport to Lovikenge, and that should be the final use. Oh no, there's one that I haven't teleported to. So I definitely did Shayzien. Definitely did Piscarilius. Did I do Husidius? Okay, it's gonna be Arceus that I didn't do. There we go. So that medium task is done, but let's go back to Shayzien to finish off the last of our favor. So we got 10%. Oh wait, I had to go to Lovikenge, not... What am I saying? We got 31% favor, and at 30% favor we can make tier 1 Shayzien equipment. So what I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to mine up, I think it's about 165 Lovakite ore. Luckily, the ore is right here, right by the bank, and we're just going to mine away. So I went ahead and did the math, and it's 6 tier 1 sets, 4 tier 2 sets, and then 77 individual T3 bars. And if we do all of that, we get to 75%, which is our goal. So that's like 180-ish, 180 to 190 Lovakite. I think the exact number is 187. Maybe about an hour later, we have everything mined up. 192, so I went a little over what we needed. Delivering the 4 or 6 tier 1 packs, we got, wow, 7.2k experience, and we should, yeah, we're up to 40% and 71 smithing. So now we can make our 4 tier 2 sets to get us above 50%. So we just handed in all of our armor and we got up to 75%. So my math was correct. If anyone's looking for getting from 40 to 75, from 30 to 75, you can use the 6477. You may have noticed that we're at 75% and not 100% yet, and that's because there's this minecart network. And by delivering these scrolls to the other operators, then we get 5% favor for each of them. So let's go to each one. So we delivered all the scrolls, we got our max favor, so let's head back to Lovacange to be able to speak to Lavoda. Now that we have all the favor done, we just need to finish off the last couple tasks here that we haven't done, such as the boulder leap in the Arceus mine, all that sort of stuff. So we're just gonna work our way through this. We can hand in Architectural Alliance by just going to Kourend Castle. Architectural Alliance completed, which means the statue is done. We have 100% favor, and this lamp will give us XP into any skill, but we're going to wait till we have all our diary lamps together, you know, just for shits and gigs to do it all at once. Okay, so we're going to get the Rata Blessing 3 here, and it's gonna give us a lot. So, first of all, those Lizardman Shamans that we were killing, our Slayer helmet will now work for this helm. So when we're on task, we can get the big damage boost and the big accuracy boost while also staying protected from damage. On top of that, we can get an Ash Sanctifier, which causes demonic. It's basically the Bone Crusher, but for ashes, and it's charged with Death Rune, so it can be a little expensive. I don't think I'm going to use it. We also get some nice teleports on our Rata's Blessing. We can go to the woodland for infinite amounts, and then we go to Mount Karum 3 times a day, so it'll be nice when I'm getting my Konar task. Also, we get a 5% increased chance to save a harvest life at both the Hasidius and Farming Guild herb patches, so that's going to be big on our output of herbs, and I've been saving up my herb seeds kind of for that. And we claimed the Desert Amulet 2 really doesn't do much for us except for a teleport to Narda whenever we need to go over there. Now, on the other hand, the Fremnik rewards are actually pretty good. The hard diary, especially. First of all, we get a shortcut for the farming patch when you go up to Trollheim. Get up to the top level so you don't have to go through the actual stronghold. Avian Season the God Wars dungeon, when I eventually get there, will now drop bones in their noted form. And then we also get access to 2 new lunar spells, Tan Leather and Recharge Dragonstone. But we now have all 8 lamps in our inventory and we can start putting them into RC. So I have no idea what level we're going to get to, but it's probably going to be good. Is that 55? 56 rune crafting. Wow. And I think that also allows us to complete the Falador Elite Diary, or Hard Diary now. Yeah, we just got the requirement there. So once we get Grim Tales done, we'll be able to get another diary done. And for our final thing before the end of the episode, what we're going to unlock is we're going to allow Konar, Duradel, Steve, and Childer will be able to assign you Lizardmen. Confirm. So now that we have the hard diary done, I'm ready to start the Dragon Warhammer grind. And hopefully we pick up maybe like 2,000, 3,000 kills on our Slayer grind. And that gives us about like a 50% chance of getting that hammer. And then I don't need to camp it out for weeks on end. But that's going to be the end of this episode. We got a lot done. We got like 20 quests done. We got like 60 achievements done. We picked up our runecrafting level from 50 to 56 purely on lamps. We got the hard Kourend and Kebos diary done. I'm feeling really good, and I'm ready to get back into the Slayer grind all the way up to like 87, 88, 89, 90. And we're going to get it. But thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one.